When Jessica Capshaw was just a little girl, she was already, I think, a consummate actress, because legend has it, she could convince unsuspecting Pac-Man players that she was just okay at the game. And then they'd take her on and she'd clobber them. Expert training for her role as fight-to-win attorney Jamie Stringer on ABC's The Practice, and Jessica Capshaw is joining us now. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
I was mentioning family at the beginning of the half hour, so let's get the family questions out of the way.
All right.
You're about to marry Christopher Gavigan.
I am.
That's the important family stuff.
Yes, yes, the beginnings of one.
So let's see, Lorraine. You get a shot of the ring?
I've been, I feel like, you know, I've been saying that all of a sudden you get engaged and it's the, sorry.
There, there you are. Okay, we got a tight shot of the ring. There it is. That pretty much played out the diamond mines in South Africa. I think.
That's, you know what? That's his big redundant joke. Every time someone asks him, he says, "Well, I mined it myself in South Africa," and I'm now done with that joke. Every time I look at it, because I've heard it 45 times.
Yeah, well, you've also heard the family questions 45 times. But when people hear your name, your mom is Kate Capshaw.
Yes.
Your dad's Steven Spielberg, and I mentioned stepfather is Steven Spielberg, and I mentioned that you finished your education recently at some school up in Rhode Island.
Yeah, one of those.
Brown.
Yes.
And your dad was inspired by that. Stepdad was inspired by that to finish his education as well.
Yeah. He was.
Terrific.
Brown is an amazing place, and you get there and you sort of, the walls are steeped with this sort of old school knowledge and this idea that you just go and you have this amazing time. And Stephen had gone to Long Beach at a time where he was so obsessed with filmmaking, and so that he was sort of like that single track, and obviously he's pretty good at it. So he, you know, went on to sort of leave that environment to go do, and when he saw me graduate and all the magic that surrounds that, it was sort of one of those moments where you go, if I can finish that, I'd like to.
That's terrific. That's terrific. So he went on and got his degree himself.
He went on, yes.
All right, you in The Practice.
Yes.
This is, James Spader was here the other day, and this is, I think people know, this is a sort of revived program, different cast. The cast has evolved. And he was here and said he hadn't watched it before he came on the show. But you were a fan?
Yes. I had I didn't watch a lot of television, but I had my Sunday night shows. And I watched The Alias, and then I watched The Practice.
Yeah.
And I watched Alias first, and then I kind of got sucked into The Practice. And then I was diehard. So when I came in to read for it, there was sort of an excitement. But there was also sort of an unveiling of the mystery that I had sort of looked forward to on Sunday. So it's gotten a little bit ruined for me that way, because I know what happens at the end. But it's still pretty wonderful.
Well, we've got a clip, I think, from this Sunday's show.
Yes, it's an awesome show.
Well, and this is a little tough to watch, but I think it's emblematic of the fact that The Practice really takes on tough issues, and in this instance, it's really an exploration of police brutality. Take a look.
You can't go in there.
Yes, I can. I'm his lawyer.
I don't care who you are. You can make it easier for yourself. Don't shoot at us. Don't lie to us. Leave.
No, I'm not.
Let's go. Get her out of here. Get her out now.
Get your hands off of me. Get your hands off me. Ow. Take these off of me.
Shut up.
I'm curious, when you take on an issue like this, and David Kelly writes this show so magnificently, when you take on an issue like this, does it get the cast talking? Do you talk through the various ramifications of issues like police brutality or interracial dating that you were addressing in the show recently?
Absolutely, absolutely. David is so wonderful at keeping all of our shows incredibly contemporary.
Right.
There's something, even if it's a story that has nothing to do with what's going on exactly right now, there's always sort of a flavor that we've seen before, or we've seen something happen. And we all sit around. It definitely sparks a lot of conversation. And what I loved about it as a viewer was that it sparked conversation at home. Christopher and I would watch it, and then at the end of it, you know, one of us would have an opinion about something. And the grandness of David is that you start with thinking that something should go one way, and by the end of it, you actually find yourself at the complete end of the spectrum going, I see how someone thinks that.
Right.
So you're always sort of surprised. I never know, you know, and I don't think there's really good guys and bad guys, except for in that case, because he was mean.
He was a mean guy.
He was a mean man.
That's pretty good. You get to graduate from college, and you get to be a lawyer without ever going to law school.
It's fantastic. All my friends are very jealous.
That's not bad. Well, maybe you'll go back to law school. Who knows at some time.
Yeah.
Jessica, great pleasure to meet you. All the best.
Nice to meet you.
In The Practice. And of course, The Practice airs Sundays at 10 p.m. on ABC. Good Morning America continues. Stay with us.